Hello and welcome back everyone to the next episode on SAP DataSphere training with me Anubhav. In our last episode we talked about how can we build our first story in SAP Analytics Cloud based on the analytic model in DataSphere. We talked about what is an analytic model in SAP DataSphere, what are the benefits and uses of an analytical model. We talked about creating our analytical model and saw the options to create consumption finally of that. We also see the benefits of adding association, like bringing the location dimension and time dimension in our dashboard. We then talked about overview of connection and the offerings of different connection type, which offers remote table replication, model import, data flow, and replication flow. Each connection in SAP Analytic Cloud have a different type of opportunity and offerings. Now we will go deep dive inside connection area and try to create a connection. But before we start today's class, let me take up the questions first from the audience. So the first question is I need the DataSphere and SSC connectivity. I am getting below error creating connection. We couldn't connect to HANA system. Possible causes third party cookie is blocked. Okay, Sayan, this issue we can look at it towards the end of the class. So please remind me once again and keep your Analytic Cloud and DataSphere account active and open in a same browser window. I will guide you how exactly we can do this connectivity without any problem. Okay, so we will do that at the end of the training, today's session. So you will be sharing your screen and we will guide you. So let's get started. So these are the different connectivity options we have when it comes to SAP Analytic Cloud. Now there is second question, are there a advantage of BW creating association in view and table? Any reason why we should choose one over other? So we should always use association because as I already explained in one of the previous class, I would request to kindly check this video one more time. The benefits of association over the join. So whenever you perform a join, it is bound to happen. It is basically always going to happen when it comes to a join condition. But when we do association, a association is basically a on fly data load. Yes, it is basically a way to load the data on the fly. Yes, so that is what association does. So association always brings you the advantage. Yes, we can create the association on table or only on views. We can create association between views also and between table, but in general associations should be created between views only. That is recommended practice because views are your virtual tables and that's where you can add constraints in terms of security. Also, as you saw last class, we can add a lot more extra stuff as part of a view. Yeah. Now let's start now and talk about the DataSphere connection overview. And we will be connecting to our SAP system, our S4HANA or BW or BPC, any of the systems you can connect. The process for connectivity to any ABAP system remains same. Now, to be able to do that, first we need to know the basics of connectivity. So let's talk about data provisioning agent. What is data provisioning agent? So let's discuss about what is data provisioning agent. So that data provisioning agent is a lightweight component running outside the SAP data warehouse environment. So it is basically another software or a component which runs outside the SAP data sphere. It hosts data provisioning adapters for connectivity to remote sources. So I am talking about remote source is nothing but a system. Could be BW, ECC, S4, and also enabling data federation and replication scenario. So I told you what is data federation. Suppose you have already a table in BW system. You don't want to create a fresh table in DataSphere. You can import the skeleton or the metadata of that table. That is called data federation. So the table will get replicated in DataSphere automatically. The data provisioning agent acts as a gateway to SAP systems or to DataSphere tenant. So it acts like a gateway to DataSphere tenant, providing a secure connectivity between database of DataSphere and adapter-based remote sources. Adapter-based remote sources. Data provisioning agent is also is managed by data provisioning server. It is required for all connections with SAP HANA SDI, Smart Data Integration. So HANA itself contains something called SDI, SAP Smart Data Integration Component. So it is part of that. Yes. So using this, you can connect to data provision, which will then connect to the target system. So through the data provisioning agent, a pre-installed data provisioning adapter communicate with the data provisioning server for connectivity. Also, you can browse the table structure, the available data artifacts in the remote system and communicate between them. So with the help of data provisioning agent, you can connect to SAP DataSphere using JDBC. So the interface used behind the scenes for connection is called JDBC. So this is can be a interview question. What interface data provisioning agent uses to do connectivity? JDBC stands for Java Database Connectivity, which is basically a very open nature connector used in software industries in many years and allows a very stable connectivity between multiple sources and databases. Now remember, this data provisioning agent needs to be installed in your local network and configured with the data sphere. So the data provisioning agent, DP agent, needs to be installed in local host. So remember, as long as your data provisioning agent is running, your connectivity is working. The moment it stops, connectivity will also stop. Yeah, which means when you install this, don't install in your local computer, because the moment you switch off your computer and go home, the connectivity will stop. So ideally, usually in a company, you have virtual machines where which these virtual machines they run automatically 24/7. That's where you need to install your data provisioning agent. So it needs to be installed in the local host in your company network and needs to be configured with DataSphere by IT administrator. So usually your IT administrator or SAP DataSphere administrator will configure this. Someone who has very high permissions in DataSphere account. They will do this. Usually as a consultant, you will not do this activity. So look at this picture. So where does the data provisioning agent sits? It sits in your local host, you see, on premise. So this is the agent. What the agent contain? It contain adapters. What is an adapter? I already told you, let's say when you're traveling to Europe, Yes. Suppose you are traveling to Europe. Now, when you travel to Europe from India, what happens? So I travel to Europe. In the Europe, when I travel, I usually see this kind of sockets all across Europe, different countries. But when we travel from India, you all know how our laptop charger look like from India. And our laptop charger cannot fit to any of these socket. So what do you guys do? Yes, you carry a adapter, something like this. Yeah, universal adapter, exactly. So on one side, you put your laptop plug in this adapter. On other side, this adapter will go and fit into this socket of European countries, right? So when two things are not compatible, what you guys usually do? You put a adapter in the middle. So by default, the analytic cloud or data sphere, they are not natively integratable to the on-premise system like S4HANA, BW, ECC, BPC. So what we do? We need an adapter in the middle, which is making these two the socket and the plug compatible. Yeah. That's what an adapter actually used for in general. So whenever you are confused with the word adapter, just think about it is making compatibility. Yeah, making compatibility. Now this is an adapter. It has different adapters, so every system is different. Success factor, field glass, Ariba, Conquer, ECC, S4, BW. So all of them, there is a special adapter for different kind of system. Usually there is one adapter called ABAP adapter for all SAP based system, ABAP based systems. So on one side you have on-premise system where you have remote sources, tables and views. Our goal is to access this table and views in DataSphere. Yes, with a live data connection. Yes, think about a live data connection. So to be able to do that, we need a data provisioning agent. The agent sits between DataSphere and on-premise or cloud systems to access its metadata information. Yes. Now there is a dedicated adapter for every system. Yes. This needs to be installed in your company network. It's a on-premise installation, which then have access to your company systems. So the connectivity option is JDBC. Now to connect to this agent, what DataSphere has? DataSphere have the database. So it internally use HANA Cloud Database. The HANA Cloud Database have a component called Data Provisioning Server, SDI. This server is part of HANA's Smart Data Integration portfolio. So this agent will be able to make a connection to SAP Data Provisioning Agent. So basically there are two activities you need. First, you need to configure this agent, add the adapter to connect to your on-premise system, do the connectivity from here. Then third step, you need to configure this agent with your data sphere. Yeah. So usually this activity is done by a net IT administrator in your company, and this activity of configuring SDI with this agent is done by DataSphere administrator. Yeah. So that is what you need to carry out to be able to do the connectivity. Now, unfortunately, I don't have admin permission in our current account. Otherwise, I could have showed you. So if you go here, we don't have admin permission here. You see, I don't see administration panel in DataSphere. So I will not be able to configure this DP agent, but I'll give you the documentation link. This is here. This documentation link you can use in case you are interested to share this information with your IT admin to be able to configure the DP agent. Yes. So how to install DP agent, how to configure, everything will be given here in this documentation. This is one way of connecting. Yeah. So you see install DP agent. So how to plan the installation, preparation, then supported platforms and hardware requirement. How to download the DP agent from the software center. So SAP provide a software center. Usually you will also not have permission as a developer to download software from software center. It require S user ID. Only your basis team can do that. Yeah, they will only have permission to do that. Once you download, you need to also do this, yes, support matrices, and then you start installation of DP agent. So here all those activities are listed step by step. So what is data? What is its architecture? You see, so there is adapters, yes, there is this data provisioning agent, how the connectivity happens, everything is listed here, and possible scenarios for connectivity via different protocols, how to install, deploy and configure the DP agent. So maybe you are interested to go there and follow the instructions given. Very good instructions are given here to set up and configure the DP agent. Yes, so this is something which you all can do, or ask your system administrator to take care to do the connectivity. Now, one very interesting thing, those who are using trial account, SAP trial account, or user or guided experience, we are all using guided experience account of DataSphere. A DP agent is pre-configured for us to do connectivity. So this activity, SAP have done it for us out of the box, free, and it is available to be able to use. Yeah, that is what it is, free, and to be able to use, we can utilize this DP agent. Now, the second type of option to do connectivity is cloud connector. Now, why do we need cloud connector if we already have DP agent, guys? Why? So cloud connector is basically to create a secure tunnel between your on-premise network and your cloud network. So you can see the DP agent is installed in your on-premise network. Look at this. It is installed in the on-premise system, and the data sphere is running on internet. So remember when lockdown have started, how you used to guys work? You used to first connect to VPN software. Yes, VPN software, and then only you can connect to your company SAP systems or company network. So to be able to connect from internet to intranet, you need a cloud connector in the middle. That's what we need as a mandatory option. So that is why we still need cloud connector. In spite of having DP agent, we also need a cloud connector, which will create here a secure tunnel between internet and intranet. So why we need cloud connector? Let's quickly talk about, and what is cloud connector. So cloud connector serves a link between SAP DataSphere and your on-premise sources, and is required for connections that we use for. So it also depends on which, what is your purpose of connection, why do you want to use the connection. So if you want to use data flows, replication flows, model import from BW or HANA, transfer type of connection, you need a secure tunnel between intranet and internet. That is the reason you need a cloud connector. So just like when we start working from home in the coronavirus timings, we always used to use something called a VPN software to connect to our company intranet network. Similarly, we would need the cloud connector to let DataSphere, which is running on public cloud, to connect to your company on-premise system. So if your purpose is these things, or also remote tables only for SAP HANA OP via SDA, Smart Data Access, you need the cloud connector. You need the cloud connector. So let us go ahead and learn this part. At least I can teach you because it's available free of cost. There is no charge required to set up cloud connector. So at least this part you guys can also install and configure yourself in your company. So look at the diagram. On one side you have SAP BTP account. On top of this account you have SAP DataSphere running. This DataSphere is running on top of a BTP account, right? BTP account. And Now this BTP account is on public cloud, which needs a connectivity to your own premise system like BW, ECC, S4. Yes, different systems. So the S4 system, BW system, BW for HANA system are on-premise system. They are running on a intranet, means your company internal network. And on the other side, you see DataSphere is running on public cloud. So just think about it. You are working from home today and you are using your company or personal laptop to connect to your company system. You can't. So what do you guys do? You start first a virtual private network software, VPN software, big IP Edge or Cisco Connect, yes, or IP Connect. There are many VPN softwares which every company use different VPN softwares. So that creates a secure tunnel between intranet and internet. Now same thing is happening here. Your BTB account is a public cloud account. It's on internet. Now it cannot connect to your on-premise network. You need a middleware. It need a bridge which can transfer all the network requests securely between intranet and internet. That's why it is mandatory to use Cloud Connector for on-premise systems protected by intranet. If your systems are not on-premise, then this Cloud Connector is not required. It's only required for on-premise systems. Look at this, on-premise sources which are protected by firewall. Yes, that is why we need Cloud Connector. So to be able to use the Cloud Connector, we need first a BTP account. So there are two choices to use here. One is you can use the BTP account on top of which DataSphere is set up. So when you guys provision your BTP account in your company with a DataSphere account, with a DataSphere subscription, yes, there is a BTP account already behind the scene. You can use that BTP account to configure Cloud Connector. Option 2, you can use a separate BTP account to then do a connectivity between DataSphere and the separate BTP account. So what is BTP? Quickly, a repeat of what is we learned in the last classes. BTP is a business technology platform, which is an integrated offering comprised of four technology portfolio: database, data management, which includes HANA Cloud, DataSphere, yes, application development integration, which includes Business Application Studio, Cloud Foundry runtime services, using cloud application programming model, HANA native development, all these development capabilities and runtime. Analytics, which includes SAP Analytics Cloud, and intelligent technologies like robotic process automation, SAP Build, SAP Kai, low code, no code automation. All these are the different capabilities we have. The platform offers user ability to turn their data into business value, composed compose end-to-end business processes and build and extend SAP applications quickly. So this is the big portfolio. It's a very big platform. It's a platform as a service. Now, once in order to use a cloud connector, you need to set up your BTP account. So after you set up your BTP account, then you can configure your cloud connector. So let me show you. This activity is just for practice purpose, but the connectivity which I'll show you, we would not need this cloud connector because our system is already a BW system exposed over the internet. So let me go ahead and show you that. I am going to download the cloud connector. First of all, I'm going to set up my BTP account. So let's go and set up a BTP account. The BTP account setup is very easy. You need to go to this link called accounts.hanatrial.ondemand.com/home HANA trial. So the link is also given over here in the PPT, which you guys can refer after my class. When you are watching this video again, you can set up. So here you can sign up a free BTP account. You see this button, get SAP Universal ID. You can already use the ID which you used to create your free trial with DataSphere. I'm sure when you all have created a DataSphere account, you would have used the email ID and password. The same thing you can use also. You don't need to create a new one. So I've used my email ID. I log in to SAP BTP trial account. So the moment you log in for the first time, it will ask you to choose a data center. So please use US data center. Don't choose Singapore. Please choose US data center. Yeah. So those who are going to set up the BTP account for the first time in their career, kindly use US data center, because the moment you try to create a BTP account, it will give you a pop-up to choose a data center. Let me show you what kind of pop-up will come. SAP BTP data center screen, and you will see there will be a screen which will ask you to choose a data center. I can show that screen by producing myself. So when you come here, you will click on go to BTP trial account, and the moment you go here, you will be seeing here a option to choose data center. So you see we will get two options, US East and Singapore. So please choose US East. Yeah, a pop-up will automatically come when you are setting up this account for the first time. Now let's understand how this account is structured, how a BTP account is structured in a nutshell. So a BTP account always starts with a global account. It represent a customer for billing purpose. Yeah, that is what it represent, a customer for billing purpose. So suppose you are IBM. Now IBM is buying SAP BTP for their development, integration, yes, different purpose. So there will be one global account for IBM. So all the services which you use in from BTP in your IBM company, they all will be charged. A bill will be generated at a global account level. So SAP will send you an invoice for your global account. Now, within IBM, you have several departments, and each department have different requirement for different types of services, right? So you do not want to mix up everything. Or let's say you have different regions, India, Canada, US, Australia, Singapore. So you do not want to mix up everything, or you do not want all the line of businesses like sales, finance, HR, materials, yes, procurement. You don't want to mix. You want each of the subsidiary, each of the entity, or each of the department to segregate their uses, their memory uses, their HANA uses, their service uses, because services are costly. Each service costs differently. You may not need all the services in all the regions, all the departments. You need selected services in selected departments and regions. So that's why we have concept of sub account. A sub account is created per region. It is special. It contains specialized services offering which represented by line of business. So let's say in finance, I need a service for Cloud Foundry runtime and 10 GB memory. In HR, I need a SAP BTP subscription, and I also need Cloud Foundry runtime and Kima runtime service. Then in let's say procurement, I need HANA database and I need HANA native development with runtime services. In fourth, let's say for the marketing department, I need SAP Datasphere, yes, and Analytic Cloud. So each global account can have multiple sub account which you can restructure, which administrator of BTP can structure according to the needs within the company. But the bill will be generated at a global. There is a single invoice, single bill, which they create at a global account level. So SAP will charge IBM like that, and IBM then further organize their development, their departments across different line of businesses using the sub account. Now inside the sub account have the services and subscriptions which you will create. So which services and subscriptions you want, that you create it in the sub accounts. Now each sub account can contain multiple spaces. A space is your development area. Like if you remember in traditional SAP systems, we have development, quality, and production. So you can create multiple spaces over here. Yeah, dev QP. You can create multiple spaces where you can have your space quota defined, that how much memory this space will have to be able to develop. So you do not want to open billions of gigabytes of memory, because memory is costly in the cloud. Whenever you go cloud, you have limited resources, because more you use, more the cost will increase. So you have space quotas where you can decide this space can have how much memory. So behind the scene, when you use DataSphere also, you will say this DataSphere account use this space, and this space has how much space quota available to store your data. And under the space you have the applications which you build yourself, or applications which are basically subscribed by you. Yeah, different application which you subscribe. So that is what you will usually see in a BTP account. So this is broad structure of BTP account. Any questions here, anyone? Any question? Okay, cool. So let's move on then. So now we need a cloud connector. So what will happen is you need a BTP account to do the configuration with the cloud connector, because cloud connector will be signed up with BTP account. BTP account will have a cloud connector registration done. So it is mandatory to have a BTP account and also a cloud connector in order to DataSphere to communicate. You see, or DataSphere is running on top of BTP. BTP is connected to cloud connector. Not DataSphere not connect to cloud connector directly. It is the BTP which connects to cloud connector. Look at these arrows. They are telling you exact integration, how it is happening. So that's why we need to create a BTP account. Usually 99% time you leverage the BTP account which was already created at the time when you subscribe the DataSphere. So when you subscribe DataSphere service, it is running on top of BTP. You will use the same BTP account. But in order to demonstrate the cloud connector to all of you, so you can understand the cloud connector, I am creating a BTP account separately. Yes, separately. So that's the skeleton of BTP account. Let's go and now download and configure cloud connector. So I'm going to go back to a website provided by SAP called tools.hana.ondemand.com slash hashtag cloud. Yes. Yeah, this connection is bidirectional. You are right. So when we come down, you will see here something called cloud connector software. Here it is. I am able to demonstrate because it is free. It doesn't require S user ID. You all can practice this. And then you see I'm using Windows laptop. So I'll use Windows Cloud Connector, this one, MSI file. Let me download that. I accept the agreement. It's free. It's free. This software is free. You don't need S user ID. And now I will install the Cloud Connector. Yes, I will install the Cloud Connector software. So let's double click. Yes, click on run. And currently it is already installed. Let me uninstall it because I did installation for another corporate training. So let me remove it so that I can show you installation process from beginning, so all of you can follow through. So I am a believer of doing everything from scratch for all of you, so that you all can follow my instructions exactly. So let me install again. So I'll install run. It will begin the installation of cloud connector. So next button, it says where do you want me to install in my computer? This directory, okay? Yeah, okay. What is the port number? This port number is extremely important, 8443. Let me note down this. Next, what is the JDK directory you want to use? Now this is where the catch is. You also need to download something called SAP JVM, which is very next to it here. You see SAP JVM. Please download this Windows JVM, since most of us are using Windows. Download this zip file, JVM file. Yeah. After you download this JVM file, extract this zip file in your C drive program file Java folder. So I already did that. So you see, I have extracted that zip file, this particular JVM, this particular zip file. I have extracted it already in my laptop C drive program file Java folder, this JVM. Yeah, I've done that. Now it is mandatory to use this JVM instead of the standard Java it is proposing. So it is proposing a JDK we should not use. We should browse, change the folder to SAP JVM 8. This is extremely important. If you do mistakes here, you have a big problem. Okay, big problem. So we click on OK and we click on next, 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 and installation will begin. It'll ask permission, and you can see it is starting. It is setting up the cloud connector. Yes, and close. So it has done the installation of SAP Cloud Connector, and the Cloud Connector is now ready to be configured. So where is going to run the Cloud Connector? Let me give you the URL: https localhost colon 8443. Yeah, this is the URL where the Cloud Connector will run. Now all the installation steps, you see download step. First you need to download JVM, then you need to download Cloud Connector, run the installation wizard, click on next button, click on next button, then choose port number 8443, then choose the JVM that we downloaded in step 1, and then finish. Yeah, complete installation step I have documented for you with a screenshot so you all can follow my instructions. Then we start Cloud Connector. The default username is called administrator, and the default password is called manage. For the first time when you start Cloud Connector in your company, in your laptop, the default user ID is administrator and password is manage. When you do this, it will log in. Yeah, it will log in like this. So let me start administrator and manage is the password. So I'm going to switch over back, and I will put here the URL which I showed you: https localhost colon 8443. You see it has started administrator and manage. I give the password manage for the first time. It will ask you guys for the first time when you do, it will ask you to reset your password. Yeah. And it will show something like absolutely empty everything. Yeah. So currently there is some entry. Let me delete that. So for the first time when you come, it will show this screen. So what is Cloud Connector? It is basically a handshake mechanism between your BTP account and your SAP S4HANA, SAP BW account, right? It's a bridge between them. It's an agent which is doing this connectivity. It is creating a secure tunnel between your intranet and internet. So it's doing handshake. So one side of the hand is BTP, another side of a hand is your SAP systems, right? So these two hands have to come to do the handshake. Yeah. So what I will do now, I will first go to BTP account and register my BTP account with Cloud Connector. So let's go back to BTP account and go to your sub account in BTP. And now you see all the details about your BTP account. So it is a Amazon Web Service US VA data center. So we need to come back to Cloud Connector and we need to put here region F4. I search for US VA. So you see US data center, different are there: US East, US East, US West, US West, US Central, US East, AWS. You see US East VA AWS. This is the same data center. You see data center link contains US 10. We choose that US 10. So that is what you can see. This is our account. Now, what is the sub account? So you see this sub account ID, copy that and paste that here. So your sub account ID will be different than mine, of course. Then we say display name, let's say Anubhav BTP. This is first side of the hand we are configuring. What is the email ID? So if you've forgotten what is the email ID you use, you can go and check user information. This is the email ID used to connect to BTP account. So I put that. I put my BTP account password. Don't put HDFC Bank password here. It should be BTP account password. I have one student, she was putting her ICICI Bank password once upon a time here. It will not work. It will not work if you put ICICI Bank password here. It should be a BTP account password and user ID. Click on save button. And now you will see the Cloud Connector is connecting to BTP account. So if you go to connectivity in Cloud Connector, you will see an entry over here in your BTP account. So currently it is showing not connected. Wait for a couple of seconds. It's giving an error. So perhaps I think the password is wrong. Let me put the correct password. Let me try to save. So it is trying to connect, login to my BTP account, and done. Congratulations. You see, it has done the connectivity, which means if I go back, you see this section in your BTP account called Cloud Connector. Hey computer, can you tell me, is there any cloud connector connected? Yes, there you go. You see, there's a cloud connector connected. Yeah. So this way you can check, maybe this activity is already done by your company system administrator, BTP administrator, when they buy the data sphere. Yeah. I see most of the company, 99% companies, they've already done this activity. You don't have to do this. But as a trainer, it is my duty to teach you end to end. Yeah. It is my duty to teach you wherever possible end to end with the demonstration in the system. Wherever it requires S user ID or wherever I don't have permission in the system, I will give you the route to the documentation. So now you see we configured the cloud connector first side of the hand. So first side of the hand was BTP account. You see, this is the first account. Done. Now what is the second side of the hand? Is your company system, your company SAP system, which is company SAP BW or company SAP BW for HANA system. Yes, that you need to configure. So with one cloud connector, can I configure all of them? Yes, you can. Yeah. With one cloud connector, you can configure all of them. So let's do that. You can come back and now we will add a on-premise system. It's a ABAP system with HTTP protocol. And now you will put your company server details here. Where do you get that? So log into your company BW system. So let me log into my company BW system. I log in. This is my company system, which we will be using for this training. And in this system, when you go to transaction SMICM, SMICM, and in this SMICM system here, we click on this button to check the services. And now you see the host name and you see the port number for HTTP 8021. Yeah, this information you will need. So basically my system is on public cloud. So I will directly take the IP address from the connection. So you can take it from here. I take that, and port number I'll take this 8021. So yeah, do we need this BW system Anubhav to practice this topic? Yes, I'll tell you where do you get that. Don't worry. Please allow me to configure Cloud Connector first. So we come and put host name and we put 8021. We click on next. Now it asks virtual host. So basically what is happening? You have Cloud Connector. On one side you have your BW system. On one side you have SAP BTP system. On top of BTP, your data sphere is running. Yes. So you're doing a handshake here. So this part is done. Now this part we are doing. So over the cloud, when somebody want to access your data from your SAP system, I don't want them to see my real IP address. I want them to see some other IP address to access this data. And Cloud Connector will do the masking. Masking means we don't show the outside people who use our Cloud Connector with the complete data. So what happens is we will basically put a virtual host. So this will be some kind of a name you can give to mask your real IP address. To mask your real IP address. So let me give some name, any name I can give. I can say Anubhav Training dot s4.dev.com, something like this. Let's say you're working in IBM, so you usually have ibm.corp, just like this, ibm.s4dev.corp, S4HANA development server, yes. Or ey.s4hanadev.corp or ey.bwhana.corp, something like that you have, right, in your company. So you can choose that. So I will just put anubhavtraining.s4.dev.corp. This is the virtual host. This is what people will use to connect to Cloud Connector from the internet. They will never know my real IP address. Yeah, they will never know my real IP address. So this I will put that also here. I click on next button, allow propagation, next button, next button, next button, my SAP BW system for DataSphere connection. Next button, check the internal host and finish. So you see, it is reachable. So it is checking the connectivity. The cloud connector check the connectivity with the SAP system. It could be BW, it could be S4, it could be anything. Now, Anubhav, if I have multiple BW systems, BW HANA system, S4 HANA system, what to do? How to do? So we can come and we can click plus button and you can add one more system. You see, now you can put IP of your BW HANA system. Yes, you can do like that. Let's say that IP is this. Yes, like this you can do. So this is a second system. So you can add multiple system like this. Multiple system you're gonna keep adding. Now you are exposing your resources on the cloud. Yes, on the cloud. So since you're exposing this information on the cloud, we are want to also give restrictions. We don't want everyone to access everything of our cloud system. Yeah. So what we do, we click on plus button and we put slash here and we say all paths and subpath. So here you can say only certain path, certain services are allowed to be accessed. You can restrict, you can add restrictions here. But right now we choose everything as it's for training purpose. I allow everything. This is how you do the handshake between your BTP account and your company on-premise account. Perfect, perfect. So after this relationship is created, it's very strong, very, very strong. It is together always forever. The S4HANA system and the BTP system. Okay, okay, fine. So this is how we create the SAP Cloud Connector to connect our relationship between on-premise system and the BTP system. Okay. So now next section is we are free to create a connection now in SAP DataSphere after creating the cloud connector connection. So this is what guys the process for creating cloud connector, and you see all the process is very well documented with steps. You know what I choose. You see with the screenshot I've given this documentation in our PPT, so you all can follow that. Yes. Now coming to the most important point, Anubhav, where do I get this server access for practice? There's a question. So maybe let's take a break here for 5 minutes and we will come back to talk about the server access which you guys would need. What is the server you guys need? And can Anubhav training help you in this to practice these topics with the live data connectivity which I will be demonstrating. So we'll take a break here for 5 minutes and then we will come back after a short break to talk about the server access which you guys need to be able to practice this topic, because you saw that today I used a server. So I'll be back after a short break. Okay, everyone. So welcome back after the break. So in case you would want to practice the same exercise the way I did it, you want to follow along, we need a server access. So maybe you can follow the same exercise with your company server and it will work fine with, of course, cloud connector. But in case you are a independent consultant and you do not have a server access at the moment with your company, you can actually take advantage from server access from us. So Anubhav Training also not just offer training, we also provide server access for participants who would be interested to learn everything. Yes. So what are the options for server access do we have? So the options for server access we have is Anubhav Training offers server access at a cost of 2500 INR per user per month. If you're paying in dollars, it will be 40 USD per month per user. What do you get with this server access? So this server access is directly available on the cloud. Though it's a S4 HANA come BW system, it is latest S4 HANA. So it is latest -1 2021 with direct connection. No VPN, no RDP is required. You can directly open your SAP GUI and you can add our server and double click, it will open. It's as simple as that, just like your company server. This is a fully activated S4 HANA system with proper license. So it's a licensed server, not a server which is pirated server running on backdate, what you usually get from Google. Yes. So it's a proper server. Actually, this server can be used to practice all Anubhav's trainings. So if you're planning to take further courses with me like Analytic Cloud, like DataSphere, like UI5 Fiori, Fiori Security, ABAP on HANA, S4 HANA, you want to practice CDS view, you want to practice native HANA, HANA native development, view modeling, everything, every single thing you can practice with the help of this server. All my courses, including the DataSphere course which we are taking, you all can practice that. This server is available 24/7. So there is no uses limit that usually some people they will put uses limit for a server that you can use it only 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day. That there is no limit like that. Yes, we do also have BW for HANA server, which we will get you towards the end of this training. That one is bit expensive than this one. So I don't want to get that today because that is more expensive than this. So I want to start this one to show you connectivity. But when I teach you BW bridge concept, that time I'll get you BW for HANA also. Okay. That time I'll get you BW for HANA. That time I'll tell you what is the costing for that separately and how to connect to that. The process will remain same. Yeah. The process for BW for HANA, BW, ECC, S4 HANA, BPC, all these systems remain same. So once you know this one, you will be able to connect that one also. Yeah. So that time I'll come back for BW and HANA. That will be somewhere around 1 month later from here. So for the next 1 month, at least you can use this cheaper option. When I teach you BW bridge, that time I will use BW for HANA system also. And that one will be a little more costly. So it's up to you. So 1 month you can take subscription. What is the process to subscribe? The process to subscribe is very easy. Hi team, I want to take S4 HANA server. Please let me know cost in INR/USD currency and account detail to transfer. Thanks. Your name. And send this email to server@anubhavtrainings.com. That's all you need to do. Yes. That's our official email ID for all the server related issues and subscriptions. Now, We have a SLA of 2 hours. Our working timing is 9:30 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. India Standard Time, and it is all 7 days. We don't take holiday on Sundays or anything. All 7 days you can send an email. Service level agreements SLA is 2 hours, which means if your user get logged or if you have some or the other problem with the server permission problem or any issues, we will get resolved it in the within 2 hour time, within the working time. So that is our SLA. That is again I'm telling it to you, but our internal SLA is 15 minutes. Within 15 minutes your issue should get resolved. That is our internal SLA. But to you guys I'll commit 2 hours. Now this server, as I mentioned, it has connectivity, configuration done for DataSphere and Cloud Connector. Yeah. We will provide documentation, videos to connect to our server. So we will provide a very good documentation, step-by-step instruction and guide, so that you all will be able to connect to this particular system. As I mentioned, no matter which country you are in, which location, which region you are in, as long as you have internet connectivity and a laptop, it suffice enough to connect to our server. Yes, we have colleagues, we have participants from different locations from US, Canada, Singapore, New Zealand, Australia, India, different parts of these states of different countries. None of them have ever complained about connectivity issues. They all can connect with our server very easily, very easily. Yeah. So that is about the server access. You can take the server access, you can send an email and take server access, because we would need this server access guys to be able to do connectivity. That is about the on premise system. Now the second type of system is cloud system. Let's say a HANA cloud. Suppose in your company you purchased so many BTP services. You purchase BTP, you purchase DataSphere, you purchase Analytics Cloud, you also purchase HANA Cloud. HANA Cloud is a cloud based database as a service. And in your HANA Cloud, there is another team who is developing so many applications and storing data in HANA Cloud. So as a trainer, it is my duty to teach you connectivity with all on-premise as well as HANA Cloud system. So now first let's connect to our current server, which we configured with Cloud Connector. You see Cloud Connector is connected, and Cloud Connector also have connectivity to your on-premise system. So now I'll go to DataSphere and I will do the connectivity in DataSphere with our BW or S4HANA system. It's a S4HANA, BW will be same. So let me go back. Eventually, they're all ABAP based systems, my friends. They're all ABAP based systems. So you are actually connecting to all the ABAP based systems. Yeah? ABAP based systems. So now let's start and learn how can we do connectivity from SAP DataSphere to our BW system, S4 HANA system, BW for HANA system, BPC system, all of them. So you always begin with the DataSphere connection option. In this connection option, you will be able to view, edit, or create new connections. So we click on create to create a new connection. And you see there are different varieties of connections to choose from. Each type of connections allows you to select the capabilities it offers. You can choose between SAP and non-SAP connections, on-premise or cloud-based systems, as well as the third-party partner systems. Most of us will use our internal SAP systems of our company. It is important that you have already configured a DP agent and also a cloud connector. Now, we start with ABAP system connectivity. This is a common connectivity option you choose for all ABAP based systems like BW, BPC, BW for HANA, S4 HANA, or ECC. You can click the I button to see what are the features which are supported with this type of connection. So almost all the important features like data flow, remote table, and replication flow is supported. So I choose this ABAP based connectivity. And now you can choose whether you want WebSocket connectivity or you want RFC based connectivity. So I'll want RFC based. I will provide my application server address. So here you will provide your application server address, system number, client and system ID. All this information you can get it from your SAP logon. So you go to your SAP logon, right click and say properties, and you can copy this here, system number, client, my current system, my current BW system client is 800. System ID, this is a 3-digit system ID. You can see it is here in my SID. I put that, and I put the language also for connection. Now, would you like to use Cloud Connector? Of course, yes, we need a Cloud Connector, and we can choose here the Cloud Connector location by entering the virtual host and port number. So this is the virtual host which we created for Cloud Connector by doing the Cloud Connector configuration. Yes, let me put that. And this is the port number. And now we need user ID and password of our ABAP system. So let me enter my ABAP system user ID and password. Yes. Now, the moment you do this, you also have to choose DP agent. Remember the DP agent concept, which I covered in our training. So already there is a pre-configured DP agent in the guided experience account, which we will select. The moment you do, you see remote table option is also become enabled. So it is important to have remote table replication possible with the DP agent. Yes, we also say streaming is on. If you want to stream the data, you can put that, else we can switch off. So what are the capabilities this connection will offer you? It offers you to do remote table connection, data flow connection, and replication flow connection. All three it will offer, which means all the capabilities which I want to demonstrate you with a connection with BW system are possible. In the coming episodes, I will also show you how to connect to BW for HANA system. The process remains same. The process remains same. The process remains same. Now we click on next button, and now we can choose connection pool size, timeout limit, all these basic settings for connectivity. We can choose these options. Then we click on next button. What is the business name of this system? So I can say my company S4 HANA come BW system, and I can just give a technical name. So I can say Anubhav underscore S4. Yes, Anubhav underscore S4, that I want to give the name. So this will be the name which will be visible to you in your DataSphere space for this connectivity. I click on create connection. It is trying to connect now, and congratulations, the connection have been successfully done. So at the moment it doesn't offer a real-time replication. You see it is inactive, which is fine, but at least you can see the connection have been done. Yes, you see my user ID. Now, apart from this connection, SAP DataSphere offers two inbuilt connection for practice and learning purpose in the guided experience account. You can also use these connections for guided experience account for testing and learning purpose. So now we've created our connectivity with SAP BW system or SAP S4HANA, any ABAP based system from our DataSphere account. Perfect. Perfect. So now let's take up the questions. Any questions here on connectivity so far? Can we create only one connection to one system, right? No. You can create as many connections as you want, because maybe you want to connect to your BW system with a different user IDs. Sometimes what happens, if you have a BW system, it has different user IDs. Yes. Let's say user 1 have certain permission, user 2 have certain permission, user 3 have certain permission. So when you want to use, let's say, backquery query 1, that will only work with user 1 because user 1 have that permission. Backquery query 2, only user 2 have permission. Backquery query 3, only the third user have permission for that. So now you need connection 1, connection 2, connection 3 with the same system, but inside that you have different user IDs. Yes, because these users only have permission, authorization to access these respective backqueries queries. So you may need 3 connections with the same system. Also, it might happen sometime a BW system have dev client and quality client in the same system. So dev client is, let's say, 001 and quality client is 003. So you will need connection 1 with client 001 and connection 2 with client 003. So to the same system, you can have two connections. It's possible. One dev client and one quality client. Yes. Are these based on analysis authorization, right? Yes, analysis authorization. So each user which you have may have different analysis authorization. So I'm not saying it is like this always. It depends on use case to use case, company to company, project to project. You cannot generalize what I'm covering here. We cannot give, it is not a hard rule. So sometimes what I see, some companies they create one user only. It's called tech user, one technical user, and this user have all permissions to access all Bex queries. That means you just need one connection. You don't need multiple. Yes. So cloud connector is for on-premise system, correct? If we have S/4HANA on-premise, do we still need cloud connector? Yes, you need cloud connector as long as you have your system which is protected by firewall. You need cloud connector. Simple rule. Look at the diagram again, or also watch the video recording again of today's class. As long as you have a system which is protected by firewall, you need cloud connector. Simple rule of the game. Try to put your system in this diagram in your company. The moment you find your system in this diagram in your company, you will understand whether you need cloud connector or not need cloud connector. If your system is protected by a firewall, you would use typically the VPN software, which means cloud connector will also be required. Yes, you can configure the cloud connector. Okay, so this is the screenshot I have added for you to also do the connectivity. You see everything I've added. So let me also add the screenshot to the connection which we created. So you can edit the connection also after creating them. You can select and you can edit. In case the IP changes or some setting changes, you can always edit. So I'll put this screenshot in our PPT. So if you are using Anubhav training system, you guys can use directly these options. So if you are planning to take training server from Anubhav trainings, and if you're planning to use that, you can do the connectivity. Yeah, very nice. Fantastic. Cool. Okay. So that is the one part which we have got. Let's move to the second part. So this is how you connect your company on-premise system. We did that. And using this, all the three option data flow. Yes, data flow is getting enabled. Then we have remote table option and replication flow. All three things we can utilize with the help of this connection which we created. Now there are two systems already connected. As I mentioned, SAP guided experience give you free connectivity to two systems for learning and training purpose. SAP did this for you. We will also be using them. So one is they are using a S4 cloud system with their connectivity, and one is HANA cloud system. But I don't want to use their HANA cloud system. I want to use my own HANA cloud system. Yes. So what is HANA cloud first of all? And how do you do connectivity between cloud to cloud? So currently we saw connectivity between the on-premise to cloud. But what if I want to do cloud to cloud? Yes. Now there is one more question in the chat. Just confirming DP agent is pre-configured and will be set up already, right? We don't need to do anything. Yes. So DP agent is pre-configured if you are using the SAP. If you are using this particular system, the DP agent is pre-configured. You see here. Yeah, SAP have done that for you. For guided experience accounts, SAP already installed and configured a DP agent for you. So you don't have to do that. Yeah, you don't have to do that. Fantastic. Good. Okay. Now let's talk about what is HANA Cloud and how do you get your free HANA Cloud instance. So first let's talk about what is HANA Cloud. So SAP HANA Cloud is a fully managed in-memory cloud-based database as a service. So in the past, when you want to use database, you need to download and install database in your computer. But now you don't need to. Everything is available as a service. So you can use database as a service in the cloud. So it is a cloud-based data foundation for SAP BTP. With SAP HANA Cloud, you can create, run, extend new and existing applications, basically database applications where you can store data, manage data, tweak data, modify data, run data, serve data. A lot of these things you can do directly in the cloud. HANA Cloud includes a number of software components, the core component of HANA database, but also other components which can be added or removed at any time, like data lake. The key components of HANA Cloud are, there are four key components. The HANA Cloud or the HANA database, you see this is the biggest bubble, which is used for OLAP and OLTP, online transactional and online analytical processing. Apart from that, it offers special features like spatial, graph, multi machine learning, predictive analytics, text search, and document store, doc store. Then we have data lake. Data lake is to store large data sets of different file types. And then we have SAP HANA Adaptive Server, which will automatically expand according to your data load increase. Yes, for uh, performant transactional applications. So these are the main three major components. So the most important one is this database itself. You can run a database in the cloud. Now, sometime a question comes in interview, what is the difference between database, data warehouse, and data lake? So let me quickly clarify that question. What is the difference between database, data warehouse, and data lake? Quickly, let's understand. These are basic interview questions which somebody might ask you. So, what is database? So, suppose I meet my friend Rohan. Rohan is a car manufacturer. He has a manufacturing company for car. Now, to build a car, Rohan need different raw material. He need tire, he need engine, he need car body, he need wheels, steering wheels, he need yeah, let's say these components. So these components are coming from different vendors. So to be able to design a software application which can maintain all the parts of the car and assembling process, Rohan would need to store the data about the cars, models, and raw material. So for that, Rohan would need something called a database. So database is basically simply a collection of tables to store data, yeah, for transactional purpose. Yes, so he will have a table where he will have raw material. He will have another table where he will have cars, models he is producing. He will have manufacturers. He will have a table where he will store customers, and he will have a table where he stores inventories. So all this information he will store in a database. Now, this is one business Rohan has, but Rohan also have a life insurance business. He also have a banking business. He also have an investment firm. Take example of Tata in India. So Tata have multiple businesses. Tata Consultancy Services, which is a software business. Tata Motors, which is a manufacturing of cars. Tata Tea, which is manufacturing just the tea and coffees. Then we have Tata Elxsi, Tata Insurance, Tata General Insurance, TGI, right? That's an insurance company. Tata also have acquired this airline called Air India, right? So they have Air India and Vistara. That's a airline company. So some companies are so big they have multiple businesses. Now each business produce some data. They have data. So this is data in database 2. This is data in database 3. This is data in database 4. Now Tata wants to know which of his subsidiary, or Rohan wants to know which of his subsidiary is giving him maximum wealth generating business. So what it does? he would need now a data warehouse. In SAP term, we call it as business warehouse. SAP term, if you talk about business warehouse, or known as BW. So a business warehouse will then allow Rohan to basically bring massive data from different systems to store here. Yes. So maybe you don't want to store massive amount of past historical data in your database. You don't want to store that in your database. So what do? You will bring data from different sources. Yeah, different ERP systems, different transactional systems, store them in BW system. So this is basically for historical data and performing data analytics called OLAP, online analytic processing. So our main goal of BW system is to store historic data or massive data or data from multiple systems. Yes. So you will get that in your BW system. Billions upon trillions upon records is stored. It is read optimized. And on top of it, we build the graphs, charts, yes, different analytics we do on top of it. That is what traditionally BW system is. Then we have data lake. So we are living in a very dynamic world. So mostly in database and data warehouse, the data is stored in a structured format, which is a two-dimensional table or structure, right? But a data lake is actually a advancement of data store where you can store both structured and non-structured, which is means semi-structured data. It is also used to store massive data, but semi-structured. Some data will be in form of structure, which is table. Some will be, let's say, a audio file. Some will be video file. Some will be images. Some will be JSON. Some will be XML. Different file format. Just think about a garbage dump yard in your in your city where you just go and dump something. You just keep something. You don't know whether it is useful or not, but you want to store and keep it somewhere. That's a dump yard where you dump your data. Why do you need dump yard? Because maybe in the future you may ask some important business question to this dump yard. Yes, like maybe in the future you want to apply some machine learning, some data intelligence. Yes, you can use data lakes. You can use data lakes. So SAP DataSphere can connect to basically data lake also. So SAP DataSphere comes under this data warehouse solution. It's like a data warehouse solution in the cloud. So if you want a data warehouse in the cloud, that is your DataSphere. But this DataSphere can connect to data lake also. It can connect. It is itself not a data lake. It's actually a BW system running in the cloud, but it can connect to a data lake. So you can connect and fetch the data from data lake. Yes, maybe in the upcoming episodes, I will show you how to connect to data lake from DataSphere. Makes sense. So now you understand that the difference between database, data warehouse, and data lake, and what exactly DataSphere is all about in general. So now let's go ahead and do a setup of a database of HANA Cloud. So we want to create a database now, our own personal database where we store transactional data of a company. We will use HANA Cloud. So what is the difference between HANA Cloud versus HANA on-premise? So SAP HANA on-premise system is where you are responsible or a customer is responsible for all the stacks of a software. So you need to buy the hardware. You need to go to market, let's say Richmond Road in Bangalore or Nehru Place in Delhi to buy the hardware first. You need to buy the machines, the servers, the hard disk, the RAM, the operating system. Then on top, you need to set up OS. You need to buy license for OS and you need to set up that OS, configure, update everything, apply upgrades, install antivirus, install bare minimum softwares, dependencies, everything you need to take care on top of it. Yes, as a customer. Then on top, you will buy HANA license, you get into a contract for 10-year, 20-year with SAP, which you will lock yourself, and then you will buy the DVDs. These DVDs you need to install in your system on your OS. Yes, you need to take care of upgrades, patches, backup, tuning, monitoring, restarting, everything for this box. You need to hire HANA administrators to take care of that. Then on top, you need to have your data and application. So this is what you build finally. Whereas a HANA cloud, you see, hardware, OS, and some part of administration is managed by SAP. It's managed by SAP. You don't have to do all this. You don't have to go to many place to buy hardware. You don't have to install operating system. You don't have to install HANA database. You will get a HANA cockpit from where you can maintain everything for administration activities, but only few parts you will take care. Rest all will be taken care by SAP. So this will be a great time saving for initial investment, or sorry, initial starting point. It saves time. It saves cost as well. So your initial cost, or initial cost of investment is very low in a cloud. Yes, in a cloud environment. But in case of an on-premise environment, it is very high cost, because you need to upfront purchase hardware, upfront set up OS, upfront hire a basis team, HANA admin team, who could do all these activities for you. Yes, this is a big change. So now on top of it, you can build your data and application. That is HANA Cloud. So that's a major difference. I also put in a comparison between the feature sets of HANA Cloud versus HANA on-premise. Our goal will be to work with HANA Cloud. Now, one of the best feature I like about HANA Cloud, it also offers data lake. You see, data lake is possible with HANA Cloud. So now we will go ahead and set up our HANA Cloud instance. But before that, there are two more concepts you need to understand about HANA Cloud or HANA in general. The first concept is called schema. What is schema? Schema is a mandatory database object, and this database object is used to store other database objects. So it's a compartment. Like if you open your cupboard in your house, you see there is one section in your cupboard where you keep all your trousers. Yes. There is another section in your company where you store basically all the shirts and t-shirts. There is another section in your company where you store in your cupboard where you store ties and nose pins and socks, yeah, accessories. So like this in SAP system we have HANA, and HANA composed of multiple compartments. These each compartment is logical separation of your data. Suppose your company spent $10 million to buy a HANA system with 600 gigabyte of RAM, yeah, in-memory database. Yeah, it's a very expensive system, $10 million. Now, if you have this $10 million system, can I use this system only with one SAP ABAP system like BW? And now if you want to use HANA for ECC or HANA for S4 HANA, you need to spend another $10 million. Cannot, right? Cannot. You want to utilize your cost. You have buy a very humongous elephant with 600 gigs of RAM. You do not want to just waste all the memory just for one system. So what you do, you create three schema: SAP BW schema, SAP ECC schema, and SAP S4 schema. And all these three systems, they connect to their dedicated schemas. So suppose there is a table called EKKO, the purchase order header table. So if you have just one database, you can't have same table storing data for BW, ECC, and S4. Now, since you created three schema, all the three schema can have EKKO table, and they store data related to BW, ECC, and S4 separately. So inside the schema, you store your runtime objects like tables. So each schema have different table, though the table name is same, but different data set for different ABAP systems. So it's a logical separation of your systems. In a large database system, you can create multiple schemas, and each schema can connect to different SAP systems. So you will not end up buying many HANA systems for each SAP ABAP systems. So it is the home of all the runtime objects. Schema also provides security. Who can read, update, insert, delete, yes, data back and forth between systems. So that is what also this this HANA system is capable of doing. Yes. Now What is HDI container? This is a new concept which was introduced with HANA 2.0. In the past, we used to use schemas, but the problem of the schema is, let's say if I created the schema today in my company and I left the company, what will happen? All the permission of that schema is gone with me. I don't want to be dependent on a developer because developer keep coming, keep going. Yes, I want a concept which is managed by system, for system. Yes, for system with the system. Yes, it remains with the system. It doesn't remain with people because people will come and they will go away. They will join, they will leave the company. Yes. So HDI container, it has two purposes. One, it is fully system managed, not managed by developer, not managed by user. Second benefit of HDI container, it's a service layer. It is managed by a service. Service means in the cloud. In the cloud, we don't have concepts like on-premise where you go connect and do things. In the cloud, everything has to be automatic. Yes, it has to be everything automatic. These days, you see very powerful things are coming in the market. When you go to internet, you try to try to give a order on Amazon. It automatically creates your account. Yes, you do your first order on Amazon, it automatically creates a new account for you, right? That's what the system will do. Yes, so we have the same concept here. HDI container is managed by a service called HDI service in BTP. This service will automatically have capability to create and destroy the schemas for you. So they are like containers. Containers are like schemas only, but they are managed by a service. Managed by a service. Don't worry. When we go to system, I'll show you everything in the system. So a HANA cloud system have both concepts of HDI container and schema. Both we can reuse and we can connect from our DataSphere account to containers also, and we can connect to schemas also. Both is possible. So let's learn how to create a HANA Cloud instance so that we can create something in HANA Cloud instance, store something in HANA Cloud instance, and then reuse that in our DataSphere account for modeling or anything. Yes. So to be able to do that, we need to follow these instructions which are listed here. I'll do them in the system, live system, so you can follow along. Yes. Now there's a question coming. If the same EKKO table present in multiple schemas, will there be any issue of the system record? No. See, you have a BW system. When your users will log into BW system, they will see all the data of EKKO for BW. You don't want to merge the data of ECC with BW or S4 with BW. It should be a logical separation. Yes, it should be logical separation. When your ECC users who are doing transaction on daily basis, they connect to ECC, it will connect to ECC schema. It will fetch all the records of this EKQ. So it is actually, the name is same, but data in this table are specific to systems. Yeah, the table name is same. And this is possible because we have schemas. Imagine if you wouldn't have schema concept, the moment you create EKKO table, it will store data from all systems. Then it is more confusing. Which record is belongs to which ABAP system, right? You will never be able to know that. Never. Since we have a schema concept, it's possible that we can do a logical separation of our tables. We can leverage this humongous 600 gigabyte $10 million system, and we can reuse this system to connect to multiple ABAP systems. Yeah, that is the advantage. So let's go to our BTP account and create our HANA Cloud instance. So I'll switch over back to BTP account. So let me go to BTP account. This is our BTP account. We go to the sub account and we will create a HANA Cloud system. We will create a data lake also. Yes, we'll create a data lake. I'll show you that. So I go inside, and in this we go to dev space, and here you see HANA Cloud. It's free. Yes. Anubhav, is it free? Yes, it is free. Data lake and HANA Cloud, they are available in trial mode for free. You all can practice whatever I'm teaching you in this training. Every single thing you can go and practice. Just follow my lectures. Every single thing you can practice. Every single thing in trial account. So we can come and you don't need to pay anything. It's not a single penny to practice these things. Come here to create a HANA database. You can create a data lake also, or you can create together. So I can click on database. It will launch a new session where I need to log in again. I pass my account user ID and password, login. So S4HANA on cloud is free. No, this is HANA cloud. This is not S4HANA cloud. If you want S4HANA, which I showed you previously, that one is the cost. This is HANA cloud. This is database, guys. I'm setting up a database now. So let's go back. I want a HANA database. Next step. You can give some name to this database. Let's say HDB Anubhav. You will give the password. You can give any password of your choice as per the complexity they have given here. I'm giving password welcome one, so I will remember it. The default user ID will be dbadmin. So please note down this user ID somewhere and store it. And save it somewhere in your computer. Do not come to me that Anubhav, I have forgotten my password, what to do. Sir, I cannot help you with your password. It's your password. So it is better when you guys creating things, kindly note it down in a notepad file so that later on you will not forget or miss out on things. I would recommend to use password welcome one. Yes, so that we all can remember, because it's for learning and training purpose. It's okay if I'm sharing this also with everyone. I click on next button. I want how much GB. So that is default in the trial account. You can't do anything here in the trial account. And now you say you have to choose allow all IP address. Would you want a data lake to be created together? Yeah, okay, no problem. What is the name of data lake? Let's give Anubhav DL, data lake. So a data lake will also be created along with this. So HDL admin will be the administrator user name for data lake. Click on next step. It is telling you the configuration for data lake. We don't need to touch anything. Next step. Allow all IP address, review and create. So you see, this is all the details, configuration detail. We can create the instance. So now this instance creation will take about 4 to 5 minutes, and it will create then a HANA cloud instance and a data lake instance for you. You see, it is creating both of them. It's free. In the trial account, you create a BTP trial account with US data center, and you can create these things for free for learning and training purpose. Now, couple of limitations here. First, you cannot change this size, neither reduce nor increase. Yes, this is the size which SAP provide you, which is fixed size. If you want to increase the size, reduce the size, or do anything, please go with productive BTP account, which is chargeable. For learning and training purpose, I think is very much more than sufficient. Yes, you can't also change the hard disk. Remember, this is the in-memory component, this is the hard disk component. Then you can't change the CPU, you can't change any configuration here. Yes, nothing you can't change. So second thing, it's free. Third thing, it will automatically stop if you not use it for next 12 hours. So let's say next weekend, again, if I come back and I want to reuse this connection, it will be stopped by then. So you will not be allowed to use this connection, or basically again after 12 hours. So what you got to do, you need to come back to this tool called HANA admin cockpit tool, and you need to come and say start. So currently there is no option coming called start. Once this status is stopped, next week or after 12 hour, if your data access stopped working, you need to start it, come back and start it again. So this tool is called SAP HANA Cloud Central tool, which is a tool to do the administration in the cloud for your HANA cloud instance. Suppose I close this tool by mistake, how to come to this screen again? Yes, so you need to go to, of course, your BTP account again. I'll show you the navigation path. So let my database instance create in the meanwhile. So I come here, I go to my trial account. I go to my sub account. Remember the diagram I showed you, how the BTP is structured. I go to my dev space. I go to SAP HANA Cloud. And now you see it is currently creating. That's okay. This is my instance. So after 12 hours, if it gets stopped, you need to come here. Click on actions and say open SAP HANA Cloud Central. And it will take you to the exact same screen where you can start and stop your instance. Yeah. So you see your instance. It is still creating. So it will finish creating in about 2 to 3 minutes. Now, Anubhav, do I need Cloud Connector to connect to this instance from DataSphere? No. Why? Why no? When do you need Cloud Connector? When do you need Cloud Connector? Whenever, whenever there is a system protected by firewall. It's a bridge between intranet and internet. So your HANA cloud system, where is your HANA cloud system? Is it internet or intranet? Is it internet or intranet? Your HANA cloud system is internet, not intranet. Yes. So the one which we created here, it's internet. Yes. It's internet. It's directly on the internet. Yes. This is directly on the internet. This is BTP. BTP is all internet. So basically what we did, we created a BTP account today. On top of this BTP account, we created a HANA cloud instance. So DataSphere is internet also, it's on BTP, and HANA cloud is also on BTP. It's also in internet. There is no firewall. So there is a direct connectivity possible. No cloud connector required. Is this clear? Hello? Is this confusion clear? Hello? That a cloud to cloud connectivity doesn't require any cloud connector. A cloud to on-premise connectivity require cloud connector. Any questions? Any questions anyone till here in the entire session so far? Yes? No questions? Okay. So now once this HANA Cloud instance is created, how do you access? So you already saw that we have the HANA Cloud instance we create and the instance is created in the cloud. Now there are two questions. Let me read that. So can you show us Cloud Connector high availability feature? I'm so sorry at the moment that is not possible with our current trial account. Yeah, it's not possible. But we need a connection to DataSphere and we need a connection to HANA Cloud. Yes. No cloud connector is required. See, cloud connector is required for on-premise system. Like previously I did with the my BW system, my S4HANA system. That's where you need. But for HANA Cloud, you don't need. Let me show you the connection in a minute. Let it create first. So you see it is still creating. And once it gets created, what we will do? We will launch this. We will launch this. How do you connect to this HANA cloud? So in the past, if you would have worked with HANA, there was a tool which we used to use called HANA Studio. HANA Studio to connect to HANA database. But now guys, we are not in on-premise system. This is a cloud-based system. There is no HANA Studio here. To connect to this database instance which you are creating, you need another tool. And the name of that tool is called SAP HANA Database Explorer tool. You see it is here. So what is SAP HANA Database Explorer tool? It is equivalent. It is equivalent of HANA Studio. Yes, it is equivalent of HANA Studio. So in the past, connect to your HANA Cloud database. So whenever you have a HANA database, yes, if it is a classic database, HANA database which is on premise, old database, you use a tool called HANA Studio. This we do like previously earlier. Now we have a HANA Cloud. It's a cloud database. The HANA Studio cannot connect to this. Cannot. We have it another tool. This is also a cloud-based tool only, and this tool is known as HANA Database Explorer. So you notice that we don't need to install anything to do all these things. We just need to have a browser, and our browser, it's doing all the communication. Yes. So I will now use this database explorer tool to show you connecting to this HANA database, which we created in the cloud. Yes. To just see how this works. And then I have my, of course, DataSphere account. This DataSphere also connects via a connection which we will create to connect to this HANA cloud. That also we will see. That also we will see. So let us go back. It is still creating. It might take more time. It might take more time. And once it is done, let me refresh quickly. Maybe it is already created now. I can show you running the HANA Database Explorer tool to connect to this database and show you what is inside. Yeah. Okay, it is still connecting, guys. I think it will take about 10 minutes. Yeah. So maybe we will continue from here from the next class. Let it create. And by the next class, it will be ready. I will come back and start the instance. I'll show you the connectivity in the next class and we'll use this connection. So I think we can wrap up today's class with, of course, looking into the issues. If some of you facing connectivity issues or any other issues, we can also look into that. Let me read the questions now. So let us know what we can do with the default connections that came with the trial version. That I will show you next class. So these default connections which came now, this one and this one, what can we do with them? So that I'll show you in the next class. Okay, we'll do in the next class. So Anubhav, can we
Yeah,
create HANA CDS view on HANA Cloud also, right? Yes. Now, if you are interested to do that, you can join my another training, which is native HANA development training on HANA Cloud. Go to anubhavtrainings.com. So I have another training where you can join this training, BTP training on HDB Cloud. BTP training on HDB Cloud. This training you can attend. This you can buy. In this, I have shown how to use HANA Cloud for native HANA development and build CDS views on top of HANA Cloud. Yeah, this you can use. It's a separate course. I have different courses for different purpose. So that one you can take only from anubhavtrainings.com. Do not believe on anyone else. There are a lot of scammers. They will not give you the correct material and up to date content. So only believe on anubhavtrainings.com. That's a real place where you can find everything. Okay. Now somebody at the beginning of the class was having an issue for connection between, I think, Sayan. Are you there in the class? You can
yes,
share your screen. Let
yes,
us go
Anupam.
and check
Yes.
connectivity between. Yes.
Anupam, hello.
Yes, Sayan, I can hear you.
Yeah, actually today I was in late. Did you cover the how to create a BTP trial account?
Yeah, we
Today I
covered
was
it
late.
already.
Today only call.
Yesterday only we covered.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Anubhav, can you see my screen now?
Yes, sir. I can see your screen. This is your analytics cloud. Where is your data sphere, please?
Yes.
This is
Yes,
a data
Anubhav,
sphere.
data
Okay,
screen.
maximize the window, no problem. Please maximize your window. Go to connections in data sphere. Oh, no, sorry. Go to analytics cloud. We need to connect analytics cloud to data sphere, right? So go to connections here. Yes, very good. Click on plus button. Connect to live data source, data sphere. Give some name. Now, wait. Go to your data sphere. Click on the user icon on the right side. On the top, the blue color GG icon. Yeah,
This
we
one?
need this name. We need this name. This you can take from URL also. Check the URL. You see the last entry in the URL. Yeah, 445. Yes, copy that. Come back. Give the name as same. Yes, very good. Give description. Anything you can give. Give the host name. Go back to DataSphere. Copy the URL till .com. Only till .com. Very good. Copy that. Come back. Port number 443. Click on OK. Could not connect to possible third-party cookies are blocked. Okay. So this is something, I think, a browser problem. Third-party cookies we need to configure in your Chrome browser. Just give me 1 second. Chrome third-party cookie. Enable. So can you see on the top
Sometimes,
right corner, there is an icon,
actually, yeah,
icon.
actually, yeah, Anubhav, actually, what I say notice, sometimes with the pop-up blocker also, if you are not removing, we are getting same kind of issue.
Yes, yes. So no problem, we'll enable that. So go to settings. And then at the bottom, you see advanced option. And we need to go privacy and security.
Okay.
And there is something called block third-party cookie. Cookie is another site data, you see. Cookie another site. Yeah, go inside. Allow all
I have
cookies.
already allowed.
You are already allowed.
Yes. I have already allowed, and I have also maintained
Added the
that
exceptions.
URL.
Okay, this is okay, guys. Why it is giving? Okay, I need to troubleshoot that. So go back to the analytic cloud. Press F12 key on the keyboard. F12 key on the keyboard. Go to network tab. Yeah. And now click on OK button again on your connection pop-up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see there is a call called get service info, which is going red. Double click on that call. This is working here. You see, it worked here. I gotcha, sir. I gotcha. What's the issue? So you have created your analytic cloud account separately and your DataSphere account separately. They are technically not in same domain. And since they are not in same domain, it is giving you this error. Yes. Now, what you need to do, just close this. Perhaps you need to create another analytic cloud account directly from here. So go back to DataSphere, close this, press F12 again. This pop-up will go away. Press F12. Go to your DataSphere. Guys, you need to follow instructions carefully. Go to DataSphere. Yeah. Now, on the top right corner, there is a button called palette button next to the GG. Yeah. Here. Here you click on analytics. Yes. Now it will ask you to create a analytic cloud account.
You use the same user ID for both the DataSphere and
That
Analytics
cannot be,
Cloud?
sir. Anyway, that cannot
Yes.
be.
No, actually, see, when I got this email while I first registered for Analytics Cloud. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Now
Hello.
you enter
Yes.
this user ID password
So,
of analytic cloud account. Yes, enter that. There is a space at the
but I
end.
used the same account.
No problem. Let's see. So basically, somehow it is not able to bind to it. Click on remember.
Anubhav, sorry to interrupt.
Save.
One question.
Yes, sir.
Anubhav, can you hear
Yes,
me? You can use the same user ID to create DataSphere and Analytics Cloud,
yeah,
correct?
same email ID you can use, but when it creates the account, the user ID which is sent by SAP over the email to you, they will be different.
Yeah, the
Email
email
ID
ID
which you
is
are
different,
using to sign up, that can be same.
but the ID, GE ID can be the same for both
No, it
DataSphere
cannot
and
be.
Analytics Cloud.
It cannot be. For my
Okay.
in my case, it was not same, and I think in his case also not. So now this is the correct account, guys, which he has created or logged in. So what I would request is to go back to DataSphere now open another tab with the data sphere. Yeah, close this tab. You
With data
close
sphere or
this tab. You close, sir. Now open in another tab data sphere also. Let's keep this open. Open data sphere also in another tab. So check your SAP email. This is Analytic Cloud, sir. Data sphere email you need to. Or in his case, actually, it is the same GID, which is for use for data sphere
no?
also and Analytic Cloud also. In his case, it's the same.
Actually, Anubhav, actually, I received two emails. One with this GID 4474445 for Analytics Cloud, and another one is for
Data sphere.
another one is for this, yeah, data
Okay.
sphere.
Never mind. Let's go back, sir, and we try to connect now again. So go to Analytic
This
Cloud,
one,
add a connection in Analytic Cloud. Give your GID for data sphere. GE47445. GE47445. Yes, give a description. Keep HTTPS, it's okay. Keep HTTPS, don't worry. 443. Click OK. Boom, there you go. When you do things right, output is bound to come. Nobody can stop you. Done. You did it,
Okay,
Sayan.
just to confirm, you have to have two different accounts for Analytic Cloud and DataSphere, you're saying,
Now,
correct?
Sayan, one important thing for you. Open a notepad, save this URL of Analytic Cloud, and open another, save this. Copy this, open a notepad, and say your Analytic Cloud. This is what you need to open always. Yeah.
okay.
And open another tab where you have data sphere. Take this URL. This is your data sphere. These are the correct URL you should use. They both are connected. Okay.
Do I need this URL or this home page URL?
Anything is fine, sir.
Okay, okay, okay.
Anything is fine. Homepage also is fine. You can take homepage also. No problem. Yeah,
And
you can
about
bookmark.
one
That's a better
quick
way.
thing.
Yes.
And about one quick
Yes.
thing. Can you repeat the sequence of steps? Probably not in this class. Next class, can you repeat the sequence of steps we did today?
Today for what? This connectivity?
Today we did a lot of connections, right? Can you describe those sequence of steps? I'll go through the recording anyway, but if
Yeah,
you can repeat those steps, no, that will help us
yeah,
to
okay, no
connect
problem.
the
I can
dots. Okay.
summarize that. Please remind me in the next
Yeah.
class at the beginning. Okay.
Sure. I'll do that. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. See you next week. Bye.
Okay, thank you.